then you can share this information with people, and it can actually change some circumstances that will occur. So free will is in place, but it seems that there is some sort of predetermined future because there are millions of people thinking about this possibility, so it happens, but it can be changed.
How do you protect yourself when you go and do an out-of-body adventure, or if you're remote viewing that you actually do come back to this physical body? Is there any chance that you may not?
Well, so far, I have been able to come back. Once you learn how to leave, the trick is staying out and not worrying about coming back. But there have been instances where I have been out of body and the experience was so unpleasant that I wanted to come back into the physical, and I could not do it. And I don't understand why I could not. But going in the wrong body is extremely rare if it happens at all. Otherwise, you would be waking up in someone else's body, or I'd be waking up in Bill Gates' body, fighting with 2,000 other people to take over his body. That wouldn't be so bad, would it? But on the other hand, that was the difficulty. Everyone has a peculiar brainwave signature, Rob, and this prevents them from entering another person's body. So it's just like your fingerprints, eye retina, and everyone has one special brainwave signature that really is like a soul signature brainwave that can be recorded, so it prevents another entity or person from entering.
Exonation, Michael Telstarr is our special guest, www.michaeltelstarr.com. Michael, there's an entertainer or a street magician in Las Vegas who had his own show, and I can't remember his name right now.
I don't know if I want to either. Well, Chris Angel was on the air for a while.
That's it.
And he was on the air, and he actually was a special effects expert for movies before he did his series.
Oh.
And what happened there was that he ended up utilizing too many special effects. And so he actually, after 3 seasons or so, he got bumped off the air. And he, I saw his stuff, and I recognized the special effects afterwards. So you can only do so much, right? It's against the code of ethics for a performer to actually introduce so many computer special effects. And then it comes to the point where everybody that was seen on the TV was an extra, an actor or an extra. So if he had people walking down the street, everybody was an extra. If everybody was in a pool, everybody was an extra.
So it was basically a totally choreographed television show.
That's right. It should have been called Chris Angel's Special Effects, show or whatever, because he broke through that whatever mold where you're not supposed to. He went across the line, and I guess it suited him. But I don't think we'll be seeing shows again. On the other hand, David Blaine doesn't do that, so I really respect David Blaine's work.
How about David Copperfield?
David Copperfield is a master illusionist, and he will use some extras, but it will be limited. Very limited. During a show, he may use 1 or 2, and that's it. But on a special, he may use a few more, but he hasn't crossed that line. So I really admire him as well.
Michael, what has been your most crowning achievement when it comes to an illusion that you've done?
Well, I guess it depends. It's a good question, too. It depends. My wanting to remain here on the physical after having had experiences non-physical is a crowning achievement. Because sometimes you're tempted to want to leave here the physical, and you can't do that because we're multidimensional. We're here to live in the physical, and we're here to also experience the non-physical. There have been times where I've been tempted to just leave the non-physical, not committing suicide or whatever like that, but just leaving the non-physical and maybe not coming back. And I realized that I can't do that. I'm here, and I have to fulfill this purpose, and there's a reason why I'm here. On my escape level, doing shows, I suppose probably the Death Punch escape, where I had to involve the police, the bomb squad, paramedics, ambulance, bomb experts, and I had to choreograph and synchronize everything, and I escaped from a boat, shackled, with about 10 pounds of handcuffs and shackles, and handcuffed to the boat, and I had to escape before a 3-minute fuse lit up, and I did that many years ago on the anniversary of Houdini's death. That was probably the biggest challenge I did since I was by myself, and I didn't have any outside expert advice or help. I wish I had. to be honest, because it's very difficult when you do things on your own.
What is the reaction of the public when you do your street performances?
Well, they like the fact that I don't have any backstage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any. I'm not utilizing any props. I'm utilizing might be something object on them like a key, or I might be doing a thought transmission test with them, or a suggestion, or some sort of hypnosis, hypnotic routine.
Right.
And I'm not utilizing any expensive prop. I'm not a standard magician. I utilize the energy, my own energy. So I may make them, pick an object that they didn't think they're going to pick, or predict, or make them actually feel that energy. And getting the feel is good, that energy, because they can see that the energy is real.
Mm-hmm.
And also in my classes, of course, in my seminars or programs, I also teach people how to utilize that energy for themselves. So, for example, I'll teach people how to spin a piece of paper on a pin of a needle, which was taught me by Uri Geller himself 25 years ago.
Michael, how many courses do you actually teach, and what can a person learn in your courses?
Well, Rob, I guess the main thing is that you have to either know that you're more than your physical body or want to have that belief.
Mm-hmm.
I find that people that are, don't believe that, or they're atheistic, or they don't believe that, won't do well in my class. So if you believe you're more than your physical body, or you want to have that belief, that's good. And so I do Psychic Powers Unleashed, for example, that I'm doing tomorrow in Toronto here, where I'm teaching people how to perceive, pick up, or utilize the energy they possess on their own. And that's really important, because once you empower people and you show them that, Rob, and they can actually do it on their own, then that's where they have the proof, the proof's in the pudding, so to speak.
Can anyone be taught how to use their psychic powers?
Yeah, people, you don't have to think you're psychic. Being a psychic is like having an ability that's inherent. So if not everybody can learn to pick up the piano or learn how to play the violin. Majority of people can learn, however, right, if they're reasonably within physical shape, how to do the martial arts. So some people, for example, could learn how to get their black belt within 1 year, depending how committed they are. They take another person 5 years to get their black belt in martial arts. So what I teach basically is a form of martial arts of the mind. So my remote viewing, out-of-body adventures, lucid dreaming, Psychic Powers Unleashed, teach people how to get into an alpha brainwave state, which is a focused state of awareness and attention. And when you exhibit that and maintain it, that's when you can pick up on the non-physical.
Michael, what has been the most weirdest paranormal experience you've ever had?
When I was escaping from a tank of water, and I have a photograph of this, and when I was taken from the tank of water, large tank of water, about 2,000 gallons, and I was trussed up with an Alcatraz, prison bells, and a bunch of stuff. But I was at the bottom, it's about 10 feet deep. When I was at the bottom, because I had a 40-pound shackles tied attached to my legs and locked up, when I was at the bottom, I felt myself, Rob, bilocated. I felt myself split, because while I trained myself, I still had some anxiety. And I felt myself split, and I found myself escaped or released at the top. So I was at the bottom, working to get out, to escape from these shackles and restraints. And I saw myself, or felt myself, also at the top of the water, looking down at myself, trying to escape. So that was kind of eerie.
When people take your classes, let's talk about the remote viewing class here. How long does it take you, Mike, to actually have them where they can have their own remote viewing experience? Does it take a day? Does it take 2 days? Does it take a week?
Well,
or does it depend on the person?
Yeah, actually, for my remote viewing, it depends on the person, but I will basically help them to understand that, to the degree that they can just let go and not judge what they receive in their mind. That's how accurate they'll be in remote viewing. So basically, I will have a high accuracy rate with people, 7 out of 10 people who will pick up some aspect of the target. Some people will actually pick up the target. For example, if it was, say, for example, the planet Mars, some people would actually, without them knowing what the target was, will pick up on the planet Mars, and they don't know why. And some people will pick up on a spaceship or a space shuttle or a desert or a red desert. So when I give them a target, I'm not telling them anything about the target. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people will let go. If you analyze it, right, and you're too structured, then you may have a little difficulty on picking up on a target. But there's ways around that, and that's why coordinate remote viewing is very good for people that are structured. Extended remote viewing is good for people that are strong feelers.
Michael, why do you think people in today's society are so interested in the supernatural and the paranormal? What's going on?
I think, Rob, that people want to experience things they want to be able to experience things that might not be able to be explained, but I think people do want to have experiences that can be afforded to them that are already there, that exist, that are within themselves. So it's something that they want to have the experience. They want to be able to have that experience, going, like, for example, on a roller coaster,
right,
skydiving or whatever. But having or learning these things that I share, a person can utilize and develop these techniques, and they can have the actual experiences that are within their control, and they're not within the control of the government or some outside force. They can have the experience if they follow my techniques, the methods, and so on. Some people will remote view or have an OBE or an bilocation the first day I teach them, the second day perhaps, or the third day. But what I do is I create such a strong morphogenic field effect, and everybody starts to have experiences. So many people have had experiences that it makes it easier for other people to have it as well. So I think people want to learn. People are curious to see if they can do it, and they can. And I tell them they're already doing it. It's just a matter of becoming awake or aware while they're having it, and then I explain to them how they can do that too.
How many people do you usually have in a class, Mike?
Anywhere from 10 to, say, 50 people, and it's gone up to 120 in the past.
Wow!
But too many people, I can handle the people. It's not a matter of handling the people. Actually, the more people there are, the better, because it does create a strong physical or mentality, and that word again, genetic field or morphogenic field effect, which is a non-physical energy that goes around. So when more people have the experience, others can have the experience. So it's like giving a hand to other people who cannot get up. You give them a hand, they can get up. So when 10 people can have it, another 5 can have it. When 15 can have it, another 5 can have it, and so on and so forth. So I have a special CD, which I have a warning not to get, called Astral Sound.
All right, we're going to talk about your CD when we come back from this commercial break. Michael Telstarr is my special guest this hour. He's in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Visit his website, please, www.michaeltelstarr.com. And there's 2 R's in Telstarr. We'll be back on the other side of this break. My name is Rob McConnell. Don't go away.
All my senses have been stripped, and my hands can't.
With each new extreme weather event or terrorist act, it becomes increasingly obvious that we live in uncertain and challenging times. We all buy car insurance. Why not collapse and catastrophe insurance? Matthew Stein, an MIT-trained engineer and green builder, has written 2 outstanding books to help people prepare, plan for, and deal with everything from minor situations lasting a few days to full-on collapse. Matt's first book, When Technology Fails, is a manual for self-reliance, sustainable living, and surviving the long emergency. This massive book covers the gamut from first aid and emergency preparedness to alternative healing, renewable energy, primitive living skills, and 18th century technologies that could be critical to your comfort and survival in a long-lasting crisis. Matt's second book, When Disaster Strikes, is a comprehensive emergency preparedness handbook and survival guide. When Disaster Strikes is an essential item for every family's go bag. Both books are available at all usual sources. There's a wealth of totally free information posted at whentechfails.com, and author-signed copies may be purchased at mattstein.com. That's www.whentechfails.com and www.mattstein.com.